Lyon 2, Manchester United 2. And what can I say, guys? Like, we were right at the death. We were literally there, all a win in the bag, going into advantage at Old Trafford, and we just gave it away in the last minute. But before we get into that, let's talk about the lineup, and I'll talk about the match overall, all the incidents from the match. So, starting lineup, straight away, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not happy with Garnacho. But he wasn't the one that actually disappointed us in the end. It was actually the fella in net. But yeah, I had Garnacho and Bruno and Højlund starting as a front three. We saw that front three under Erik ten Hag. We've seen that front three under Ruben Amorim, and I'm just thinking we're not going to score here. That front three doesn't work together, and unfortunately, none of them did get on the score sheet. But of course, Bruno did provide the assist for Zirkzee's goal. But in terms of the starting lineup, so Yoro, Maguire, Mazraoui, Onana on net, of course, Dalot, Ugarte, Bruno, Dogu, Mount, Zirkzee and Højlund was my lineup. But the changes that Ruben Amorim made for my line was that Ugarte and Casemiro double pivot, then Bruno, Garnacho, Højlund up front. So the changes from my lineup, I would have started Mount and Zirkzee ahead of Casemiro and Garnacho, and then played Bruno in the double pivot. And when I have to say, when Zirkzee and Mount did come on, I think we held the ball a little bit better, and we did look a little bit better. But in terms of how we started, I think both sides started a little bit poorly. I think United's probably just edged it in the first, I'd say, in the first 20 minutes. United, they were in the 90th minute, have to be really patient. But Dogu wins the ball on the left and drives into the area where he pulls back for Højlund. Højlund has a shot with his left foot in the 19th minute, completely scuffs his effort. And a man badly in need of a goal, and that was a genuine opportunity to get one, unfortunately. So that was a chance that Højlund had in the 19th minute. In the 25th minute, Man United do some good play by United. Garnacho finds space down the right and pulls back for Fernandes, whose shot is well blocked by Nekate. Fernandes swings over the corner, but it's too high for Maguire. And United recycled the ball, and Casemiro gets an overhead kick on target. And it's a good passage of play by the away side. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the goal. But in the 25th minute, Lyon do get a goal. I think this is probably against the run of play. Mazraoui gives away a needless free kick for a foul on Tagliafico. It's Almada who swings it in. It evades everyone and Onana. Public enemy number one misjudges it abysmally, and finds it finds its way into the right hand corner. Poor from the United keeper, but absolute joy for these Lyon supporters. And what can be said about Onana? Man, two errors leading to goals. The last goal that we conceded in the 5th minute of injury time at the end of the second half, that was his fault as well. But this goal was his fault as well. But fortunately for United, we do equalise at the end of the first half in injury time. Leny Yoro with his first goal for the Red Devils. Nick Harte this time, he gives away a soft free kick on the right for pulling Garnacho. Perry punches Fernandes' delivery away, but Yoro instinctively guides home the ball back into the left-hand corner after connecting with Ugarte's effort from outside the area. And it's a huge moment, and we go into half-time 1-1. And in terms of the first half, I think we probably do deserve to be going into half-time 1-1 in terms of the balance of play. So that's the starting lineup that Ruben Amorim did field. Of course, I would have started Mount and Zirkzee ahead of Garnacho and Casemiro. But in terms of the stats for half-time, they're your stats that we're looking at there. And in terms of the stats, it's a little bit Lyon have got more shots on target, higher XG as well, but they weren't able to kind of make anything of it. But yeah, they're the stats there for you. In terms of halftime summary though, we went behind from a woeful error from Onana, who had completely misjudged Almada's free kick and watched as the ball nestled into the right corner of the goal. But United, who actually have a superior XG of 0.67 to 0.21, headed into the break level with pretty much of the last action of the first half. So in terms of going forward, I think both sides were poor. Defensively, both sides looked good though. There was a little space for each side to operate, and there was a couple of opportunities on the counter for United, but there's poor decision making in the final third, and Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion, was the only one who had any quality as well. So in terms of expected goals, I think United did have a superior expected goals with 0.67 compared to 0.21 at the end of the first half. But overall, that was it really. I think it was probably a I think it was fair that both sides went into halftime 1-1. After the second half kicks off, Lyon do get the first chance as Mekatazde does brilliantly to skip past 3 United challengers, then clips a lovely dink towards Lacazette, who should absolutely bury his chance from 8 yards out, but badly skews his volley wide. A huge moment for the home side. That should be probably 2-1 Lyon there. Højlund does go off for Zirkzee in the 63rd minute, and Tuliso does get a chance in the 65th minute. He does brilliant to shimmy past Mazraoui, and he has either side of the goal to aim at, but tamely shoots straight at Onana. He really has to score there, and a huge let off for United as well. So Lyon probably should be leading, I think. So in the second half, though, both sides had a couple of chances. Garnacho breaks at pace for United and has numbers with him against the back-tracking Lyon defence, but plays a poor pass to Fernandes. This is in the 68th minute, who can't get it under control, and it's a wasted chance on the break. United do make a substitution. Another one, Ugarte goes off for Mount. Mount comes on, and then Bruno Fernandes goes into the double pivot alongside I think it's Casemiro. So so Ruben Amorim go into the game. He's thinking, you know what, let's try nick it here. Let's go a little bit more attacking. Bruno goes into the double pivot alongside Casemiro, and then in the 80th minute, we do get a chance. Dogu delivers brilliantly from the left to the centre of the area, and Garnacho on the run can only side foot at Perry, who tips it over. That probably should have been a goal as well. Garnacho with a really good chance in the 80th minute, but unfortunately, the keeper makes a save. Goes up for a corner, and Casemiro nods wide from Fernandes' corner as 2 big moments go begging for Manchester United. Finally, United do make a last couple of substitutions. Garnacho and Maguire do go off for Mainu and Lindelof, and a little bit against the run of play, Manchester United do take the lead in the 88th minute. Zirkzee gets the goal. Mainu picks up the ball, lays it quickly lays it to Fernandes, and the captain's dinked cross towards the back post is sublime, and Zirkzee heads it past Perry from close range to give Manchester United a crucial lead away from home. And at that point, I would have personally taken a draw before the game. If you had said to me, would you take a draw against Lyon, and then they come back to Old Trafford, and you basically have to beat them at Old Trafford to get through to the Europa League semi-finals, I would have taken a draw before the game. But unfortunately, Lyon do level it in the 95th minute of injury time, 5th minute of injury time at the end of the second half, and it's another howler from Onana. Lyon work the ball forward, and Mekatazde gets a shot away that the United goalkeeper does prevent, but he pushes the ball right back into the path, into the danger zone, and there is Cherki to slot home the rebound. A huge equaliser and a huge moment in this tie, and it's 2-2, and that was full time basically. And to summarise, Onana had a lot to say before the game, and the goalkeeper will be wishing he kept his mouth shut after a night to forget. It was his misjudgment from Almada's free kick that gifted the host the lead, but Yoro's instinctive header right on the stroke of halftime levelled proceedings. United, whose XG of 1.22 was inferior to Lyon's 1.52, thought they had won it late when Zirkzee headed in from Fernandes' excellent delivery, but there was one final twist in the 5th minute of injury time as Onana could not keep out Mekatazde's effort, and Cherki reacted fastest to slot home the hapless United shopstopper, and it's set up perfectly for the return tie at Old Trafford 1 week from today. And what can be said, guys, I'm disappointed, of course, to be coming away with a draw after we were so close to winning. I think we definitely should have seen the game out. And what can be said by Onana? We're going to get into the player ratings, and you know what, we're gonna dissect Onana's performance. He's got a 4.8 here on FootMob, and he made an error that led to the goal, and I think that the second goal that he conceded is also his fault. And like I said, he had a lot to say before the game, and unfortunately his performance this match doesn't warrant what he was saying, and words have come back to bite you back in the backside. And what can be said, I'm not happy with Onana. He's too inconsistent for me. 23 out of 29 accurate passes, but accurate long balls only 3 out of 9. He's not had a good day, Onana. And then Mazraoui, he's got 94% pass accuracy, 58 out of 62. Duels won 4 out of 8, which is alright. Harry Maguire, I thought Harry Maguire played pretty well. 62 out of 65 accurate passes. Duels, he's won 5 out of 7, so that's decent from him. Leny Yoro, I thought had a decent performance as well. He's scoring his first goal for United at the stroke of half-time at the end of the first half. 50 out of 54 passes. Duels, he's won 2 out of 4. And you know, he's 19 years of age, but he doesn't look it. He plays like as if he's 25 or something. He's so young and he's so raw, but he's playing like, you know, he's been playing football for years, and that's really a really good signing for us for the future especially. Diego Dalot, I thought he was okay. A little bit offensively, he could be doing a little bit better, like I've mentioned before. 37 out of 42 accurate passes. Jules, he's won 5 out of 8, which is alright. Manuel Ugarte, I thought he wasn't. He's got a 7.3 here, so I suppose he's done alright, but I don't think he was that good. 24 out of 28 accurate passes. Jules, he's won 2 out of 6. He needs to be doing a little bit better there. Casemiro, 83%. Accurate passes, 34 out of 41, but you can look at his duels. He's won 1 out of 7. I don't think he's done particularly well this match, but you know, he got dribbled past 6 times as well, which isn't great. Patrick Dogu, and then he's got a 22 out of 25 accurate passes, 88%. Duels, he's won 6 out of 12. I think he needs to be doing a little bit better on his duels as well, but dribbled past only once, so defensively he was okay. Alexandro Garnacho, I don't think he had a decent game, to be honest. I thought he was poor. But he was the most accurate passer to play 45 minutes or more, but you know, he's not really getting involved in my opinion. He was wasteful on the counter attack, opportunities in the final third. You know, he was wasteful in certain situations. That pass that he could have played to Bruno was slightly in front of Bruno, and Bruno couldn't control it. He has a shot in the 79th minute, which he should be scoring. The goalkeeper makes a decent save, but I think he should be putting that away. In terms of his duels, he's won 3 out of 8 as well, which isn't great. He needs to be doing better. He needs to be winning the majority of your duels. Bruno Fernandes, I thought he was okay. Chances created, how many chances has he got created? I can't see. Three chances created, so 27 out of 39 accurate passes. And I think he looked better in the double pivot alongside Casemiro. And he did, of course, provide the assist for Zirkzee's goal when Zirkzee made it 2-1. And Jules, he's won 3 out of 5, which is alright. Højlund, I thought he was poor, pretty anonymous in my opinion. Again, expecting more from him. He wasn't great. He lasted 63 minutes and only had 2. How many shots? He had 2 shots, but obviously both in the box. This left-footed strike, he needs to be doing better there. He needs to be getting that on target. And this other one was a right foot, which the goalkeeper makes a decent save in the 33rd minute. 2 chances created. In terms of his duels, he's lost 3 out of... he lost all of his duels basically, which isn't great. So in terms of the substitutes, Zirkzee's got 7.2 because he got his goal. He came on and he did well because he scored, of course, but his link-up play was decent as well, and he's neat and tidy on the ball in terms of his link-up play. But duels, he didn't win his duel. He was only involved in one. And then Mason Mount, he was okay as well. Not really much can be said about him. Only lasted 18 minutes. Not really involved. Picked up a yellow card. Lindelof, again, not much could be said about him. Only lasted 7 minutes. And the Menu was only on the pitch for 7 minutes as well. So in terms of the player ratings, you know, like I said, Onana, like, what can be said about him? Let's speak a little bit about Onana. We'll speak a little bit about Garnacho as well, because I've not really been impressed by Onana or Garnacho recently. So Onana, in my opinion, I don't think Onana is good enough to be playing for Manchester United, simply because of the mistakes that he keeps making. I think he's had, 2 seasons now. He wasn't a Ruben Amorim signing. He didn't sign him, and it might be time to drop him for this upcoming Premier League tie against Newcastle, Premier League game against Newcastle, and then maybe in the return leg against Lyon at Old Trafford next week, in a week's time. So I'm not impressed by Onana. 2 goalkeeping errors led to 2 goals for Lyon. And if you have a look at the stats, you know, Lyon had 3 shots on target, and 2 of them were goals, and 2 of them were basically Onana mistakes. So I'm not particularly impressed by Onana. I don't think he's good enough to be playing. Onana is a bum. I think we need to be looking at maybe Bayindir to be starting against Newcastle and possibly against Lyon, but it's going to be a big call that Ruben Amorim needs to make with regards to Onana. I'm not being impressed by him, and you know, what can be said? I'm just overall in terms of the match, I'm disappointed because we were so close to get the win. You know, it would have been such a brilliant result if we had got that 2-1 win against Lyon, and if we had just, you know, seen out the game, and that's what we should have done in my opinion. I think obviously Onana was at fault for the first goal, and the second goal he saves the ball, but it goes straight into the path of Cherki. And then I think Dalot is playing him onside as well. So overall, it wasn't the last goal that United conceded, that Cherki goal, wasn't great in terms of everyone. I think everyone is a little bit to blame. But overall, the headlines, Onana is going to make the headlines for this match. I don't think he's good enough to be playing for United. And you know what? And it can be said about a lot of players that I don't think they're good enough. I don't think Højlund's good enough. I don't think that front three, Højlund, Garnacho and Bruno, is good enough. We saw that front three under Erik ten Hag, it wasn't good. And we've seen that front three under Amorim as well, and that's not good as well. I did make a video and I said, when Amorim was appointed manager, I'll judge Amorim on how he rates Garnacho. And if Garnacho and Højlund are still starting next season under Amorim, then you know what, I've got serious questions whether Ruben Amorim should be at the helm managing Manchester United. It's that serious, because I don't rate Højlund, and I don't rate Garnacho, I don't rate Onana either, and I think we need a brand new front three in the summer, and I think we need a brand new goalkeeper as well. And that's it from me. I'm gonna leave it here. Overall disappointed with the draw, but what can be said? I think Tottenham drew as well. Tottenham drew at home against Frankfurt, but Bodo Glimt did get a shock win against Lazio, and the Rangers and Athletic Club drew 0-0. I think if we beat, like I said, at the start of the game, if you had offered me a draw, I would have taken it. But they're coming back to Old Trafford now. All we have to do at Old Trafford is win, and then we're up against Rangers and Athletic Club. And personally, I think we've beaten Rangers in the league phase. I think we can beat Athletic Club as well. So hopefully we do get the win in the return leg at Old Trafford. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.